semester is quickly drawing to a close. I have this week, next week, and then I think the week after that is finals. At this point, I haven't started studying for finals, but I have started to consider what priority I'm going to give each class, because I could study for all of them equally, but that would really only be necessary if I felt like I needed to study for them equally, if they were all of equal difficulty, which they absolutely are not. And I also have to take into consideration which finals I'm taking and which ones I'm opting out of. So as of right now, I'm opting out of probability and graph theory, which leaves me a cat, which leaves me topology and differential equations. But differential equations, I've already mentioned this, is unpassable for me at this point. Definitely sitting in solid D territory or F. And topology, it's going to be a real struggle to get a high C or a low B. So since I have those two, I'm probably not going to devote a lot of time and effort to differential equations, because it's not going to yield me anything good, really, when I could instead spend that time studying for topology, which I can still get a respectable grade out of. That being said, I still have tests in all of these classes before the finals, so I have to ensure that I do really well on those tests, so that I can still have the ability to opt out. Because how it's working is my lowest test grade is getting dropped. So if I were to bomb one of these tests before the final, then that is going to have to take the place of my lowest test grade that gets dropped, which means now I have to take a final. So it makes a lot more sense to bust my ass for these exams so that I don't have to bust my ass for finals. Because, let me just show you here. This is all of my notes for graph theory. This is 30 pages, 30 pieces of paper, and each one is covered front and back. So 60 pages of notes. The flashcards associated with them with definitions, mostly definitions, also important theorems and statements of fact. And definitions, yeah, that's not even all of them. I still have like 10 or 15 more to add to that. Topology isn't quite so bad, but still like 30. If I can avoid this, if at all possible, then I'm going to. So I have decided to get a tutor for differential equations, and I already started having a couple sessions with him. Well, I started this week, yesterday actually. Even though I'm not taking DiffyQ until the summer, I want to get a head start on it and then continue having tutoring sessions with him throughout that entire course, which is, I think, 8 weeks or 10 weeks or something like that. Which was a hard pill for me to swallow, just because I have an ego and it's hard to admit that I can't do something myself. Especially when I came so close to doing it the first time around when I took DiffyQ and I got a C- when I needed a C. But I decided that, graduating is more important than my ego and my pride, and especially graduating on time, because I got places to move to, like Corn City, USA and Kansas. Decided to give up on that, give up on doing it myself, I should say, because I feel like ultimately, like people say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Well, I keep doing the same thing over and over. I'm not getting any different results, which means I need to change what I'm doing. It's not going to save my ass for this exam that I have tomorrow at noon in that class, because I have, work tonight and other things that I need to take care of. It's still going to set me up for success come summer when I take it for the third and final time. So there's that. So topology is going to take the vast majority of my exam time, which is good because I want to devote as much time as possible. Starting this weekend, really starting next weekend, because after that I'll be done with all of my other exams, my non-final exams. And then once that is, it's going to be all day, every day topology until I know it backwards and forwards, or as close as I can get to that, because I really want to do well. I really enjoy topology, but it's been a real challenge, but it's been kind of a satisfying one, which I don't get to say about most classes that I've taken. A lot of them have been challenging, but they haven't felt very rewarding, and conquering them hasn't felt like illuminating. But with the slight exception of maybe group theory and abstract algebra, but whatever. Pretty unrelated, but this will be the last video with this camera, And after Wednesday, when I get my new lens in the mail, this will be the new big boy. So he hefty, he thick, but the downside is that this does not have tilty flippy screen. So it'll take some getting used to and making sure I'm doing it right. I'm not out of focus for a 20-minute video, because I hate when that happens. But that was purely like a photography hobby based decision. I didn't at all buy it for making videos, because it has the same resolution. It's full frame rather than being a crop sensor like this one, for those of you who know what that is. But it has a bigger sensor, so it's better at taking in light and processing and all this other stuff that it's not relevant for these videos. But it does the same resolution videos, so it doesn't matter. It's just going to be slightly different. Maybe you'll be able to tell. You can be honest with me. It's fine. I do know that I'm losing steam with this college thing. Definitely losing steam. I'm glad I'm almost done, because I've said it several times before. I don't know if it's just because I'm losing steam because I go to school all year long, 3 semesters a year for the past 3 years basically, and I don't take summer off, I don't take semesters off because I literally can't afford to, for GI Bill and all these other things that I've explained. I don't know if it's because of that. I've just been grinding so hard at it and just constantly without much break, or if it's because I'm losing interest in math as a career. I 100% still love math at its heart, very, very basically speaking, but as a career, I'm not so sure. I don't know if that opinion will change when I graduate, or maybe it won't. I don't know, but my heart is not set on having math as a career, because ultimately I want to do something I enjoy. And if most of the math careers out there involve being in a cubicle and just doing menial, extremely repetitive stuff that doesn't require any creativity or real problem solving or stuff, that's just, Excel spreadsheets and bullshit like that, then I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to know that from day one. So that being said, also, like I've said before, until I figure out something else to do, I can't give up on this. So I'm going to keep doing this. Over the summer, I'm going to start programming. I think I'm going to stick just with Python and SQL, just for their abundance in the workplace and math applications and all this other stuff. But also I can't learn like 3 or 4 languages at a time. That's just too much, especially given how much time I have to do it in, which is basically a year now. So that's a whole other thing. I have some books that I plan on ordering soon. I already have some Python ones. I have to get some SQL ones, and that should be interesting. I rather like programming, as long as it's not for a class, because that was awful. Maybe that was just a particular class I had, but anyhow. So yes, the end is nigh, and I'm just trying to keep treading water, make it out with a respectable GPA on time. Total side note before I forget, I've thought a little bit about trying to compile all of my notes from every math class that I've taken, or at least all of the upper level ones like linear algebra and above, and trying to digitize them somehow, whether that's scanning them into PDFs or taking a picture of each and every page, which isn't too bad. I've done that for an entire class before. And trying to make them like accessible to you guys if you want them, if you want to see what notes look like for what kind of stuff gets covered, or how stuff is presented in classes, and how rigorous proofs can be in different types, and all the nuances that come with various math courses. Then I'd like to do that. I don't know how I'm going to be able to host that, whether I'm going to have to put it in like my Google Drive account and just give people access to it. But I also have private stuff on my Google Drive, so I don't know how that'll work. But if you have a suggestion for me, like a free, relatively easy way to host information somewhere online, then I'll definitely look into it, and that'll something up. I'll have to wait till post-graduation, but I got hundreds of pages of handwritten notes and stuff, so I'm sure someone could find some use for it. But that being said, I'm going to go take a nap before I work from 3 to 7:30. So thanks for watching. See you next time.